They are stories about people who deal with the worst day in their life.
Ran from over here because they would shoot, blah, 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 blah. I thought he was going to shoot me, so I put my hand up over like my face, and I begged him not to shoot this guy laying on this ground, and he told him to remember the lady saved your life. This is bound in the heart.
And then what do they do the next day? As it's the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey says. It's the rest of the story.
When you lose a dream, I mean, you lost yourself. It's never over. I mean, you still got a life to live.
Street Stories is a voice for the voiceless. I mean, the people that have no voice in this world and will never get airtime from a media outlet.
When we meet again, oh sweet death, will you answer my questions, or will I have to live them again?
On this day, his gentle, carefully crafted words
across that empty landscape
fill the chilly air on Thayer Street.
Firm flesh.
Some keep walking and talking on their cells.
There's a lot of people that can't do what we do, you know. There's a lot of people that come up to us every day, hey, I got a story for you, and we're like, okay, you know, we really can't do anything about it. But with Street Stories, we can actually stop and listen to them and hear their concerns and get their concerns out there and their struggles and their achievements and everything they want to say.
Daoud.
It's my little baby.
Is a 32-year-old father of 3.
The last 3 months.
Looking for a straight line.
That's the gunshot wound. I've only been out of prison for a few months.
30 job applications into his search.
People don't really look into it and see what kind of person you are.
He is still searching.
They're the regular average Joe person that's not a, you know, state representative or a politician or any, you know, owner of any corporate person. We're probably kind of like the average Joe person that has a story to tell and has a great story to tell every time.
He started tagging in 5th grade, doing just about all of his work in Boston. Why?
Just like as something to take away time. It was like I got good at drawing and I just kept on with it and started drawing on buildings and everything.
And that's the one amazing thing about Street Stories to me, is that as you look at the thread that ties them all together, the person who might watch them once would say, yeah, it's tragedy, or it's blood, or they're features that bleed, or it's about, you know, they would look at it as a negative thing, but the one thread that ties it together is the human spirit.
At the moment, I'm trying to find a way to get some money for something to eat.
It's really always about the human spirit. Every good story you can think of remembering in life is about the human spirit. Whether it's Lion King or the story that we did about 2 hopelessly addicted heroin junkies.
It's pretty much cocaine and alcohol.
For Maureen Adams, it ended with a battle of ugly words that suddenly turned physically violent.
Woke up in the emergency room and just had it, plain had it. And one of the nurses called over to the Amos house. They got me a spot over at the shelter.
Kevin Sanders also lived for the high of cocaine and through the lows of homelessness.
A hell of a way to get on television.
Until living outside, in his words,
morning and
just got old.
Just had enough of living out here and doing the dirt I was doing.
Who meet in a homeless shelter, fall in love, clean their acts up, move in together, have an interracial baby, and then realize that while they are clean and have this fledgling family, they now have to find a way to pay the rent.
Behind them is the ordeal of addiction and homelessness, and the difficulty of finding a relatively affordable place to live, as well as the money needed to pay for it.
You have a tooth?
Now they say it's one day at a time for Kevin Jr. and for them.
I pray for both of them, you know, being in my life.
It's the voice of the people who decide not to be voiceless.
Yo, in a Lex, that trail lost, pull over, say what's up, pay your respect though, too hard to let go, 25 to life, but stranded on death row, trying to stay alive like soldiers in Kuwait, yo, shooting to survive, execution in the eyes, holding my head, till I'm amongst all the dead, I'ma rep your life, while you sitting next to Christ, come on.
We're just ordinary people! Be the theme of our life. Vineyard Court. That complex was called Vineyard Court. Where are the vineyards in the South Province? Are there vineyards here?
Somewhere on the lines.
he wanted to do a series piece like this. We've always enjoyed going into the quote-unquote hood and doing stories about people. It's just, they had the most interesting stories out of everybody. I mean, they've lived stuff that other people haven't lived.
Garcia, a so-called original gangster, an OG, with the Latin Kings back in the 50s.
I regret, and I didn't really do much with my life.
Say you got a stunt. You come over here stunting.
Corey tells us he's a former dealer for the Taylor Street gang.
I was doing big things. I was getting my money, doing too much for my age.
His competition took it to another level.
I got shut up, though. I know I got set up. I got shot on Taylor. I got shot on Chad.
Again and again. But he kept dealing.
I got shot right here. I got shot right here.
Not even the threat of death stopped Corey.
I wanted to do those types of stories. So when I had an opportunity to find a way to do those, that's what I did. I've always wanted to do stories about the human spirit, the spirituality of things that happen to you. Because we all face it, whether you're religious or not.
I was so bad when I played for the Boston Celtics, I was snorting cocaine on the bench with a towel on my head, snorting cocaine.
You know, we'd be doing stories on different types of things, and we'd be like, wow, it'd be cool to do a feature piece every week like this. Go beyond the story. There's a story, and there's the, you know, the untold story that everybody has that you never hear about because, you know, in TV news it's a minute 15, they want to get right to the point, but.
They are a community of sorts, woven loosely into the kinetic energy of Rhode Island's busiest bus stop. This teen who didn't want to talk was kicked out of school for fighting. How about that? This one's a runaway.
I'm happier out here.
Chelsea, from an undisclosed town in Massachusetts.
It's not as stressful as the home life was. I was in programs, foster homes, I was in it all and finally got out.
I feel like I'm making a documentary. And I'm amazed they're only 2.5 minutes long, which the average news producer would say, what? But they really seem longer. And Johnny does a nice job of making, we really do, we pack a lot of stuff into a 2.5 minute box.
Near the scene of that stolen car collision, where the engine is still running a half hour after the crash, we find a memorial to a shooting victim.
Ronnie was a victim of a drive-by shooting.
Ronnie was born in Chad Brown, raised in New Bedford where his mother moved several years ago to give her children a better life. Now she's back for what she calls just a temporary stay.
I'm petrified, not of Chad Brown, just petrified of, you know, knowing that you could get killed anytime, anywhere. And of course, after this has happened to my son.
As police arrive a short time later to take care of that stolen car, we are told again to leave. Quote, mind our own blanking business.
She don't know nothing about it.
Meantime, the woman we talked to earlier dreams of leaving.
I'm just worried about, you know what I'm saying, my daughter growing up in a better environment.
There are people out there working their asses off to not have to face what would devastate most of us.